Welcome to the Wally Show precast, where we get to some of the stuff that we didn't get to during the show, and maybe even some stuff from yesterday. I was out, so I was not part of the precast, but I heard you guys had a long conversation with the band Carrollton.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
We had artist interviews. We did a full thing.
Yeah, it's like you guys are doing a whole show without me. I'm like, I'm not sure how I feel about this.
I was kind of bummed you were back today.
I know.
The power.
I know.
So addictive.
It's crazy. I didn't mind it when you were going after Zach's job. Because Becca's the most motivated on the show to steal people's jobs.
That's not true at all.
She has the. Well, at least you have history in that.
No.
Look at Betty's face. Betty's face is like,
terrible.
Oh, no,
That's
you
so
didn't.
bad. People quit on their own volition.
Wow.
And I
Wally,
happen to be the replacement.
I mean,
That's
we went
not
from
true.
1 to 10.
I know. There's no truth
really
in that.
fast.
I have I've known you, Betty Rock, for about 8-9 years now.
Yeah, too long.
That was my favorite face you've ever made.
That was
Her face goes. Oh.
That was so bad. That was so bad.
But now you're gunning for my job now, so now I got to watch you. I got to keep an eye on you because you are very motivated. So did I miss anything, though? Is there anything we need to discuss, talk about? No? Okay.
Did you listen to yesterday's podcast?
I didn't, actually.
Well, then
no.
you would know what's going on in our lives if
I
you
know.
just gave us a listen.
Why are you asking us? You should be doing
Are you
your
afraid
homework.
of listening to it?
I actually
He's not even
am.
doing his work there, Becca.
I actually am. I
Here's
know.
your chance to step in.
Oh, and here's a fun fact. Wally wasn't here yesterday because he was supposed to have an audition or a college visit with his daughter.
Yeah.
Did you go? How was the
Didn't
visit?
go.
Yeah, that's
Didn't
what I
go.
thought.
Why?
I just need a day off away from you guys. No, there was so much bad weather in Kentucky. We found out like at 8 a.m, and so then when there was part of me, it's like, well, if I went in, could I still not take it as a day off, even though I missed half the show? By the time I get there, it's 9. The show's over. Like, could I still go in? And then I worked from home a little bit with Rock What You Got stuff, but I just took the rest of the day. I wasn't feeling that good anyway.
What?
I know.
Oh my goodness.
I wasted a day off. I basically wasted a day off.
I think this shows age. Like, I don't think you would do this in your younger days. I think you would still come in and you wouldn't care because you were nervous about people taking your job.
I know.
And here it is, Becca stepping in.
Yes,
and yet
exactly.
you still stay home.
I
like,
know.
You're getting old.
I know.
50 is right there.
I'm losing a step, or I just care less. Like, if you want the headaches of this chair, have at it.
And he was just in his pajamas all day. I know that because I went above and beyond and went to his house to work on more things in the afternoon. After
So she had to come to you in your pajamas?
I sent a text out to Zach, and I knew Betty wouldn't come
Wow,
down.
I didn't get anything.
No, I knew you because I knew you wouldn't come down.
Rude. That's rude.
Would you have driven?
Would you just assume that?
Yes.
That's
would you have driven
rude.
down to our house just to pick?
No.
Thank you.
But it doesn't matter. I would like to be invited.
I was doing you a favor, and I knew Zach had other things. He was like on baby duty.
I'm on baby duty, and it's like pouring rain. I'm like, I didn't say no.
Yeah, but you made me
really
know that
didn't
you
want
didn't
to.
want to come over. So I'm like, okay, I want to go through the Rock What You Got finalists because you guys had pulled a bunch. I was pulling a bunch, and I wanted to come to a consensus on who we wanted to put in there. And so I had Becca come over because there were a couple I wasn't sure about, and I wanted someone else's opinion on this. And so Becca's like, I'm in my pajamas. Can I come over? And it's like 4 p.m. I'm like, yeah, I guess. I'm in mine, so okay.
I changed the second I get in the door.
Yeah.
Who has time to wear jeans at home?
I do. I'll wear jeans till I go to bed, like at my house, and I'll wear my shoes in my house. Like I know a lot of people take their shoes off.
I take all the keys on my pockets. Like I change into shorts. I can't stand that.
The way I go to work, like the way and then I come home and I'll be like that until I go to bed.
No, I change the second I walk in.
Really?
I just like to be in comfy clothes.
My wife, God bless her, I love this woman, but please, like when I get home at like 2 p.m, don't already be in pajamas. Make me think you did something.
What do you mean
today.
already be in pajamas?
Yeah, like
still be in pajamas.
Yeah, she never changed.
No,
like she'll get a shower and then put pajamas back on. Like really, like
she
come
is
on.
living my dream.
Yeah, she is. Except for the me part.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'd rather stay how I am and work than have to put up with that.
Here's what I want to talk about because this has been a delightful little development that is new to the show. Zach actually is able to converse about The Bachelor, and
Yes.
I'm so
hates
ashamed.
himself
How
for it.
exciting!
He's gotten suckered into it, and this is a good season.
Right, and I'm so glad that you can step in for me, Zach, because I didn't get to catch it last night. So this will be good.
The only reason I watched it last night is because they were in Warsaw, Indiana, which is where I went to college.
So why'd you watch last week?
Yeah.
They were in Warsaw last week.
No, she did.
I don't think I watched it last week.
Oh, yes, you did.
The week before, it just came on after Wheel of
Yeah,
Fortune.
and you
That's
watched
not my
all
fault.
2 hours.
Right.
Anna
2 hours.
Anna was enthralled, and we didn't want
good
to turn her off.
grief.
I will say this because I know all the problems with The Bachelor, and I know the people that get upset about even talking about it, like on a Christian radio show or a Christian podcast or whatever. But like, of all the episodes, I wanted to see this year because they picked what I thought was a good guy, and I wanted to see if they would kind of redeem it a little bit, and because the last year was really salacious. I didn't even watch it with the girl Andy or whatever. Caitlin, and like it was a skanky season. I'm like, I checked out, and so. This one they have this like a nice guy that seems to have morals and values and this, that, and the other. And so I'm like, okay, let's see how this goes. And it actually hasn't been really salacious. It's been a bucket full of crazy.
Yeah, but this has been my favorite season so far because I believe in my heart that he is a good guy.
Zach doesn't trust him.
Yeah, I know.
Zach likes him but doesn't trust him.
No, he is the most likable person I've ever seen on The Bachelor, but he has that ability to make everyone think that he's really engaged and into them. He really likes them and everything's great. And then
You just said something very odd. You said he's the most likable bachelor you've seen.
most likable person on The Bachelor.
But you've seen the ones in the past.
No, just the little clips you play on the show and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, so you're just judging by little clips. You're
Yeah.
judging people's personalities.
Yeah.
just by
For sure.
clips.
And what
Wow.
you guys, I trust you guys
Judge
and
much?
your opinions and what I've heard about others.
Yeah, I'll tell you, like I still like the human nature of it. Like I like the catty people. Like I'm sad when like the real crazy people go. Like Olivia, when I will tell you this. Olivia was like not a nice person, and so when she got sent home, and they made. It was a 2-on-1 date, and so one person gets a rose, so one person has to go home. So he takes the rose, picks it up, walks her to this other area, and she's thinking, I got this. And then he sends her home, and then walks back, gives the rose to the other girl, where Olivia can see it all happening. She's like 80 feet away. I even thought that was cruel.
No, I
you
thought
liked
it was
it?
hilarious
Oh,
because
Rock.
here's the thing: she's there, they're in the boat, and they're sailing off, and she's standing on the beach watching them, and the camera is panning around her. So you know that they said, "Okay, we know your heart's broken. Stand here so we can film you
Right.
crying." Like that's so funny.
And you have no choice because you're on an island. Like she could not leave. They're on this little atoll or whatever it is, and like there's nothing on this thing. It's just like an
ridiculous.
outcropping of rock and sand.
So we haven't talked about last night. I didn't catch it, but I want to know.
Last night I thought was good. It wasn't like crazy. There wasn't a lot of drama. Even the
Was
girl
it
that got
house
sent
visits?
home. No, they were in his hometown,
One girl visited his family.
and it did not go well for her. Spoiler alert. Yeah, it did not go well because the reason it didn't go well is because she spoke. Had she not spoken, she might would have sidestepped that whole thing. But she actually talked, and it was
So her voice is annoying?
no.
No.
She had no
What she
substance.
said
Yes,
was annoying.
She came off very young, and even his mom was
Emily?
like, "How did you know
Is
that?"
she the twin?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nicely done.
What? How did she get invited to be the one?
That's what we all wondered.
I know, and I love that you're in, Zach. I love this. It's
But
about time.
That's a smart play on his move where it's this girl that maybe he's thinking, oh, she's so pretty, she's attractive, but I'm a little
I'm not
worried there's
sure.
not much depth. To take that girl home to mom and dad and have mom and dad say, hey, we're worried about this too. That's honestly a good
And
decision on his part.
She was gone by the time he drove across the lake. Like he left his mom and dad's house, drove the boat across the lake to the other house, sat on a bench, and she was gone. Which I actually respect that he respects his mom. His mom was kind of crying, like he could tell his mom was like, "This girl is not good for you." Because like, well, what do you want to do, and and your aspirations? And she's like, "I'd like to be an NFL cheerleader, and it'd be great to cheer for the Denver Broncos." Like,
Or I could just sit and watch movies all day.
she did not come off good. Like she came off very young and immature, and that as a parent, you're like, you want somebody that is gonna bring something more into your kid's life.
I like that his mom didn't just come down and totally crush him, though.
Yeah.
She wasn't like, oh, she's not for you, don't date her.
Yeah.
She was like,
and then cried.
Yeah, and then cried.
That's the same
Bless her heart.
thing.
Why was she crying?
Because she was upset, afraid he was going to make this decision.
I think she was
And
overwhelmed
keep her?
by the idea of this process too.
Maybe.
I think it just all hit her. And then, but he let go of her well too. He wasn't like, yeah, my parents aren't feeling you. He's like, hey, my mom loved your eyes. My dad loved this.
Yeah.
But you got to go.
But I don't see me marrying you. Like, it's brutal. The way that they set somebody up, even on the last one where one of the two is going to ask to marry him, and they always make them say nice things about them and then cut them loose. It's brutal.
Who do you think are going to be the last two?
The last two, I would have missed one. I would have thought Becca, but Becca went home last night. Sorry.
Did she?
I said spoiler alert.
Spoiler
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Really?
A retroactive spoiler.
Wait, out of
alert.
her own free will?
No, she got sent home.
Oh, so
And
he
she's
sent
not
home
happy
her
with him.
and Emily.
Yes.
So now we're to the girls' hometowns next week.
Yeah.
Whoa, because I would have thought Becca too.
I know. And then
Okay,
the one
so who
girl,
are you gonna say?
The one girl that I thought was going to be a front runner, I think, is falling back. The little brown-haired girl. Oh, what's
JoJo?
Kayla?
No, not JoJo. Oh, Zach, I love it. Yeah, Zach.
We could call it the Zackler.
Yes.
The Bachelor.
Yeah, Kayla. I thought she was going to be a front runner, and now there's a little bit of stuff there. But
She's so confusing.
if I hadn't seen the episode, like the previews, I would have said JoJo, but the previews, she got Desiree. If you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Zach knows what I'm talking about.
It was brutal.
Yeah, totally
Yeah.
Desiree.
JoJo's for next week look good. This week was kind of boring to me. I watched The Bachelor and the Grammys at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be JoJo. I'm thinking it's going to be the blonde.
Lauren B.
Boring Lauren.
Amanda is who you're thinking of.
And I don't think it's going to be the mom. I don't think it'll
That's
be the
another
mom.
preview next week. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Okay, so Lauren B. and
Or Michaela or Kayla. I think it's going to be
Kayla.
down to those two.
Don't act like you don't know.
Becca, who do you think?
I'm still rooting for JoJo
No.
and probably Lauren.
Okay.
I think JoJo's brothers take her out of it because they pulled a total Desiree
know.
brother move on her.
I don't know
cannot
what you're
believe
talking
we've had
about.
this much conversation
wait,
about The
wait.
Bachelor.
This is the one I'm most curious about. Zach, who do you think will be the two that are left?
I have no idea. JoJo's the only name I know because it's different.
Sure it
All the
is.
others are.
Mhm.
So I'll go with her. I don't know.
Wait, no, you know other traits.
I know there's a mom.
Yeah.
That's Amanda.
There's
Okay.
a confusing one.
They're all confusing.
Never mind.
That's
You're
Kayla.
back out of the conversation.
You were so close. You were so close
I
to being
know.
one of the girls.
I had never seen a rose ceremony before, and when he got down to one rose left, my wife is like, "Now who's the host? Is it Chris?"
Chris Harrison.
She's like, "He's gonna come up and say there's only one rose left." I'm like, "Well, that's dumb. It's obvious." And
Yeah.
sure enough.
Oh,
He
yeah.
does it every time.
Every time.
It's so dumb.
So
Even if there's
It is.
2 roses to give, they'll do the one, and then Chris Harrison will come out and like, ladies,
Yeah.
Ben, this is the last rose
He's
tonight.
yeah.
I know, Chris.
Yeah.
I know.
We're not stupid. We can see the rose, Chris. You're about as useless as Ryan Seacrest.
All he does.
Like you don't need either of those two people on these shows. Neither one of them. There was a time where they used to go to Chris for advice and what are you thinking, man? I'm just your bro. Just kind of help you work through this.
He just shows up to give the rose count.
yeah, he's useless.
Ben does a great job of hosting the show. Like he really moves everything forward, and maybe they all do that. I don't know. But I thought he really keeps it moving and focuses things, and carries the storyline well.
Yeah, I was impressed with the guy. It'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. But now I know that Zach's in it. This is gonna be great for the last few episodes.
I got to come up with a new excuse next week. It
No.
was really fun seeing all the places I knew, and
yeah, Warsaw is a neat little town.
But you already saw the previews for next week, so you got to see
I know,
how
it
that
is
shakes
intriguing.
out. If it was
It
just
is
some
intriguing.
interesting editing, or if that really happened.
I will say a half hour during the show yesterday, I had to go back and hold Anna because she was screaming, and I think it's out of disappointment that her dad was watching The Bachelor.
Why?
So I might have to do it on the down low next time.
Yeah, you might have to give up The Bachelor for Lent. When does that start? I'm not counting.
It already started on
It already
Wednesday.
started?
Yeah.
I missed it.
Ash
Oh,
Wednesday
well.
was this past Wednesday.
Guess there's next year. Woo! Dodged a bullet there.
you
huh?
could, you could start something now.
I don't think so. I think it loses something. If you don't do it every day of Lent, then it's kind of not as.
You could do it every day from here on out. What were you going to give up? Where were you going to give up?
Nothing, actually.
Oh, okay.
But I had come across this thing that talked about McDonald's sells 23% of its fish fillet sandwiches for the whole year during this time of the year.
Yeah.
Because of Lent.
And
What?
a lot of restaurants know that they do fish specials because I believe it's Catholics especially, they don't eat meat.
I'd ask
during
Matt Maher.
Lent.
He would know. I wouldn't know.
I want to say
fish
there's something about
doesn't
meat.
count.
Exactly. To them, to people who give up meat. Am I right on this, Zach?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like you're looking at me like I'm crazy.
No,
Everyone's
Zach and I are
laughing.
just laughing because we mentioned Matt Maher being Catholic really quickly because there are people that have a problem with that, which is really funny to me. But anyway, so we were laughing about that. But yeah, they give up red meat, and so that's why they sell a bunch of fish fillets during this time of year.
Chicken's not red.
It's meat.
She did get you on that one.
Yeah. No, I said meat except
Well
fish.
played, Betty Rock.
Can they
Yeah.
have tuna? Because that's chicken of the sea.
I don't even
I
know.
don't know. I'm not Catholic.
Have you ever tried the fish fillet?
Yeah, I got it
It's
once on
terrible.
accident.
Good. No, you
It's
kidding me?
terrible. How do they get fish in square form?
It doesn't
and then they
matter.
put cheese
The
on
same
it
way
and
they
that
get
white
rib
stuff.
in rib form.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
Or
McDonald's.
nugget in nugget form.
Yeah, none of that is real food of any kind, but dadgummit, it's so good. Now I want
No.
that. The cheese on the fish fillet sandwich
Show
is weird
lunch.
to me.
Sorry, that was a little late.
Yeah, that was a
on,
little late.
on like Cooking Channel, anytime a chef puts cheese with any kind of fish, they're always voted out immediately. They're
Yeah.
like, you can never pair cheese and fish together.
But McDonald's does it all the time. And you would know that if you'd watched The Bachelor last night where they were at McDonald's, which was
Big
bizarre.
commercial.
was that the date?
Yeah,
One of the dates.
One of the
I've
part
been
of
to
it.
that McDonald's.
Yeah.
Have you?
You'll see.
Yeah. I don't even know which one they were at, but I'm.
It's
been
the
to all
only
of them.
one in
Yeah.
Warsaw. Yeah, pretty safe bet there. All right, that's going to have to do it for The Bachelor Talk.
That was all Bachelor
I
Talk
know.
today on the precast.
That was fun.
Zach.
I apologize. This is on me.
I know. I like having
I
you as
love
part of
this.
this. I like, man, we get you talking about Project Runway, and this is going to be a success. You're growing. You're stretching yourself as a man. It's good. It's good. All right. So that's going to do it for the precast. On with the podcast. This is the Wally Show, and the other day I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm getting dumber as I get older. And then I came across something that made me feel better, that it's not my fault, it's the internet's fault. Apparently, the more time you spend on the internet reading, your brain is bombarded by all the ads and the pop-ups and all of that kind of stuff. So you retain less information, but that's how so many of us get our information now. You know, I don't know anybody that reads a newspaper anymore. I heard one guy that's older than me the other day say, I went out and got the newspaper the other day. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Who does that?
It's odd that the internet makes you dumber by reading the internet, because I feel like I read more news stories and more opinion pieces because of the internet, because I can pull it up on my phone and things are happening in real time. But it makes you dumber.
Because they say that you're not committing as much of that stuff to memory. Like you basically remember less of the stuff that you read on the internet versus the things that you spend time with a book with less distractions, this, that, or the other.
I could see that. Yeah, because there's always that Amazon ad right smack dab in the middle of whatever article I'm reading.
And how many times you start off reading that ad and then, or that article you wanted to read, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, 50% off at Kohl's? Yes,
Yeah,
click. And then you're gone.
My shopping cart's full.
Exactly.
My brain's empty, but you know.
Exactly.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
This is the Wally Show, and life is filled with irony. And from time to time, we like to highlight some of these. Like there was a guy who was wearing a shirt that said, "I did not hit you. I high-fived your face." Weird. He was arrested, but
For
not for the
assault?
shirt. Yes, exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Some of these you can see coming like a mile away. Yeah, this knucklehead gets arrested for assault, and he's got that shirt. It's kind of like. T-shirts are a window into the soul. Like sometimes you see people with certain T-shirts, you're like, okay, that is a person I want to avoid. And in this case, it would have been good for this other person.
But his alibi was right on the shirt. He was just high-fiving him.
That's right. I didn't do it. I'm innocent. Let me see here. This is weird. Cops in England, actually, are protesting a music festival for the deaf because it might be too loud.
What?
It sounds bizarre, but yeah, apparently they're afraid that it's going to go too long and too late. And I could see part of this, though, because deaf people can't hear the music, so that part seems odd, but they can feel it, and stuff. So if you've got it cranked up, you can actually feel that, but to feel it, I would assume you've got to turn it way up or turn the bass way up, and then it's going to be like crazy loud for people in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm guessing maybe it'd just be all low end, which would rattle everything around it.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense.
I think it's cool that they're doing something like that. I mean,
Totally.
why should they not
Yeah.
enjoy the music? But the cops, not cool that the cops, that's kind of lame. They just don't want to work late or have crazy loud music around them. And finally, this one you can almost see coming. It seems very deserving. There was a guy or a girl who had met a guy online, and they met on plentyoffish.com, and then he dumped her. So she decided to take her matters in her own hand and, send a message. And she did that by filling his hot tub with plenty of dead fish.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
that's terrible.
I know, it's a little ironic. They met on Plenty of Fish, and they ended with plenty of dead fish in his hot tub.
I think it's clever.
I do too, actually.
I give her props.
Wow, spoken like a woman scorned. Yikes! Do not ever cross Betty Rock. I can feel that ending badly. This is the Wally Show, and if you're looking to make a change this year, you're like, man, I want to have a different career or a different job, I came across something that might help you out, because if you haven't done a resume in a long time, you know, a lot of times you go back to your old resume and you just kind of, polish it up a little bit, but apparently, like, maybe some things that you had on there from years ago aren't what you want on there now, or maybe you're just re-entering the workforce. Maybe you took some time off and had some kids, and now you're like, okay, I'm back in. So these are some things that might be able to help you, like the things that you should and shouldn't put on your resume. Keeping it under 2 pages is not important anymore, they say. Like, I've always wanted my resume to be like 1 page, just that's it. And so I guess that's not as a big of a deal as it was like when I was trying to get jobs years ago. But like, I always thought that you want it really succinct.
I wonder if it's because it's digital now and people don't print it out anyway.
Oh, that's true.
So you don't really...
You just scroll through it. Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, I have actually minimized like my job stuff to keep mine on one. Because the older you get and the more jobs you've had, the more you get fired. You have a lot of things on your resume. So that's something that I've worked on. But like having volunteer experience, they say isn't like that big of a deal. I guess that depends on the job you're going for.
Oh, totally. If you're going to work for a nonprofit, volunteer experience is probably kind of important.
Yeah, listing skills like creativity and communication, or personal interests, they said, isn't like a big deal for your resume anymore. Like, those are the things you should probably keep off of there. Here are 5 things that you might not think are important, but they say that they are, like listing all your job titles at the same company.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Because
Yeah.
I've always tried to condense that down, because sometimes you move a lot within one place.
Right. Yeah, but they say no, put them all, because it shows growth and it shows that you've been like being promoted and moved within the organization. Because I do the same thing. Like, if I was at a station and did afternoons and then went to mornings, I usually just list one of the things, or something like that. Using industry terms, I was kind of surprised about that, because that's real tricky, because you can out jargon yourself, sometimes to try to be too kitschy and clever. But apparently, employers want to see that you speak the language of what you're trying to apply for. Putting in details about your achievements. Typos is the big thing. Like, some people go, oh, it's just a typo. No, that's a big deal. Like, a typo can keep you out of a job for sure. Because if you're hiring people and you're looking at people's experience and it's all fairly equal, if somebody has poorly formed sentences, you're going to wipe them out and take the other person if all things are equal.
I would weed someone out for a typo, even if they were the most qualified person.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're pretty hard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if their skill says attention to detail and detail is spelled wrong.
Yes, exactly.
Bad sign.
Don't think of this as news. Think of it as...
We take you on a little trolley ride down Story Lane. You're having a good time. Boom, left turn. You don't know how it happened, but you like it.
It's the Wally Show News.
And Becca's going to get you caught up right now. What's going on?
Yesterday, Hillary Clinton talked about one of her favorite political ads that ran a few years ago that featured a dog that would bark at things that weren't true. And it seems that Hillary has plans for that dog even now.
I'm trying to figure out how we can do that with the Republicans. We need to get that dog and follow them around, and every time they say these things, like, the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation,
But all anybody can talk about is how Hillary Clinton was barking.
Yeah, that one will follow her around.
Oh, for sure. She does a good impression of a little yappy dog, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of dog that is, but it's pretty good.
Speaking of Hillary and other candidates running for president, there are 2 teenage girls in New Hampshire who have taken a special interest in politics in the past year, but not in the way you would think. Last summer, they happened to get a selfie with Governor Chris Christie and then decided, why not get a selfie with all of the candidates? And being in New Hampshire, they get a lot of candidates stopping through since that was the second primary. So that's what they've been doing over the past year, and now they've successfully gotten their selfie with each of the 22 major candidates.
22?
22.
Holy
the only
cow.
one they technically missed was Jim Webb, who dropped out
Who's that?
early on. Exactly.
Like, I didn't even know that guy was running. That doesn't count.
Exactly. But he did tweet out an apology to them that he didn't get to take a selfie with them.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, it's okay, don't worry about it.
Who are you?
Yeah, exactly.
And finally, it's a good thing this discovery is being announced after Valentine's Day. One of the world's largest diamonds was recently discovered in Angola, It's 404 carats.
Wow.
It's as long as a credit card and is expected to be worth around $20 million.
Oh my goodness.
Because apparently it's completely colorless.
And right now there's some woman that is like, I deserve that.
Yes.
I deserve that for my engagement ring. Like,
Right.
That is crazy.
I want to fit on a ring.
I saw a thing, well, you'd have to get a good setting for it,
Okay.
but I saw a thing the other day that was like, most people feel that spending, like, I think it's probably like 40% of people feel that spending $10,000 or more for a ring is obsessive. Like, which I agree.
Good.
I agree
I was
with.
like, they think that's normal?
But it was weird that a lot of people felt that 2,000 and under was like where most people would be, like where they would be comfortable. And I'm like, oh yeah, I get that. I think I paid $1,800 for my wife's ring. How many years ago that was? 23 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was stretching it, man. Like that was hard for me to do at that point.
I think Joey paid like 15.
Because they used to say like 6 months salary or something like that, which is
No,
just
they started like a 2-month salary, and then they kept raising
Yeah.
it. Like, what? No,
And
no.
not economists, just the diamond industry.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Yeah, I think you should start off with what you can afford at that point. If you want to upgrade the ring, because trust me, your wife will ask you later on, that'd be nice to have a little bit bigger one. Then fine, when you get more, financially stable, if that's something you want to do it. But there's no shame in having that small ring because that's part of your story.
Yeah.
You struggle. Like we had a small ring, and we used to eat pizza one night a week. And that was a treat, and that was part of what cemented us together. So don't be embarrassed of your story if it starts with a small diamond. This is the Wally Show with a little game we like to call the 3 Strikes game. Now, the way this works is I have a list of 10 things, and Becca, Betty, and Zach will all try to get 5 of them right before they get 3 strikes. If they get 3 strikes, they're out, and you get a chance. So you are rooting against the squad here, okay? So here we go. This is your list that we're going to start off with. The top 10 signs that you are a mother. Now, I did not write this list. This was written by moms. And so the top 10 things that signify somehow that you are a mother. And, you could say, well, this isn't fair because you have Zach as part of this. Zach typically does better on these than the girls do.
No.
You do.
Do I?
Yeah, you do. You get more right on the questions like this than the girls do.
I mean, number 1 on that list is obvious. You have children, right?
Right, but no, that doesn't count.
No?
No, did not make it.
That's like the ultimate sign you're a
No,
mother,
no, no,
right?
no, don't get, no, that was not his answer.
I think it was.
No, it wasn't.
Did I
Good.
final
Are we
answer?
starting this already?
No.
Okay, yes. We'll start with you, Becca.
Okay.
Since you seem to know, and you're going to be a mom someday.
Very far
maybe.
down the road.
Okay. Yes.
No announcement happening.
Soon.
Nope. I would say you always have a children's song stuck in your head.
Oh, that is a good one. Because, like,
Right?
you're in the car or at home. Like, Zach, you have a young one. Now, what is she, 16 months?
13.
13 months. She seems older.
She's very mature for her age.
Like, and so, like, do you play videos at the house and stuff for her, like the sing-songy stuff?
Not a lot.
Really?
Like she'll watch maybe an hour of her kind of TV a week.
Really?
That's it.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
even that.
That was a babysitter for me. I pop Haley down in her bouncy seat and put on Disney videos. Like, see ya. Sorry. No, didn't make it.
What? No.
Did not make it.
That's such an obvious
That
one,
is
though.
a great one. That
It is a great one. We should put it
Okay.
on the list.
I know. It's a really, really good one. Let's go to Betty. Boy, this could be 2 strikes right out of the gate, but I'm pulling for you, Rock, because you work with children.
Well, yeah, it just still makes me nervous. I would say driving a minivan.
Oh, that's a good answer.
That
Not
is a
necessarily.
good one.
Answer.
Wait,
Yeah.
I want to say by minivan, I mean a larger car, a 4-door sedan,
Right.
perhaps
Like
an
a crossover.
SUV,
Yeah,
perhaps minivan.
Yeah,
Perhaps
that-
anything on 4 wheels.
Yeah, I love Zach going, no, that's a great one, and it's not just for women because he owns a minivan. Wow, that is really, really amazing. Oh, sorry, hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong button.
What?
No, wrong.
Seriously?
I thought that would be on there. Like I thought both of your 2 answers were great. Zach typically does well at this game.
I have 2 possible answers.
Okay, what's your first one?
Well, let me give you the one I'm not going to give. This is
Okay.
not my final answer, but I'm pretty sure it's on there.
Okay.
Crash into a parked car while bragging about your ability to multitask.
Oh my goodness, that is absolutely amazing.
I knew that would be on
Yeah,
there.
it's not, but it's a write-in because I could see that happening.
My official one, I'm going to say you dream about napping, or you're just always tired. You always look tired.
Oh, that is a good one.
That could
You guys
include
like that
bags
one?
under the eyes. That could
Yeah.
include a lot of things.
Yeah.
We got to make this as broad as
Messy
possible.
hair,
Yeah.
mismatched clothes.
Look at you guys just fighting for Zach. Well,
Wow.
I got to tell you, Zach nailed it. Always tired. fired. The number 2 answer of all things, Zach. Nicely done. You are practically a woman. All right, so here we go. Back to Becca.
I'm going to say you can't remember the last time you had a shower or a couple minutes of peace.
That's a good one, yeah. You know, it's funny because you had mentioned like having bags under your eyes. You should have gone with that.
That was a separate one?
That
No,
was
that's my answer. I want to go. You haven't done the noise yet. I'm going to go with
Doesn't
bags under the eyes.
Sorry.
I think that's no.
That's what she meant.
Yeah,
No.
too late. What were you saying before, though? What was your answer about, like, you never get a moment of time to yourself?
Like, that's
Yes.
a good one. You lock yourself in the bathroom
Yeah.
to get a moment of peace.
That's what I was going with.
Yeah, that is a really good one, because that's what moms say. They're like, I use the restroom, and I stay there for an hour just to have a few minutes of time to myself.
I do feel bad for my wife because as soon as she goes in the bathroom, she'll crawl from the other end of the house and start like scratching on the door and knocking and like trying to push it open.
Oh, yeah, it's moms don't get a minute of peace until their kids turn at least 18. Like, so I totally get that. But I'm sorry.
What?
Game over. The squad is struck out. Oh, no. I cannot believe that. All right, so that means it shifts to you. All you have to do is get one right on this list.
The impossible list.
It's not that hard, actually. So you get one of the answers right on this list, and you'll be our big winner on the 3 Strikes game. 877-91-WALLY is the number. That's 877-91-WALLY. And again, it's the top 10 signs that you are a mom, okay? So hopefully you've been listening to this, and you have your answers figured out right now. 877-91-WALLY. This is the Wally Show, and it's a 3 Strikes game where Becca, Zach, and Betty have struck out on getting 5 answers right on this top 10 signs that you're a mom list. So, Sabrina, what do you think made this list? Because now you have a chance to win.
Finding random things from your kids in your bag or purse.
That is a good one. And I will say I'm not even a true mother yet. I don't have human children, but I will find dog bones in my purse.
Oh, nice.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, Hadley's sticking those things in there.
Yeah, I can only imagine that human children do it way more.
Yeah, I found a lot of different things like socks and binkies and just random things throughout the day.
I can't believe that didn't make the list. No, that's a good one. I really thought that was going to make the list. I'm so sorry.
Well, thank you.
My daughter's at that stage right now, but she'll always like make a trade. So she'll take one of her blocks and put it in my wife's purse and then take out the cell phone.
Oh, nice.
But she's always like deposit one thing and take another thing back.
Yeah, she knows to get the better of the deal.
She
too.
does.
I like that. All right, Ashley, are you a mom?
I am.
Okay, so then you're qualified to get something right on this list of the top 10 signs that you are a mother. What do you think?
I think messy hair, definitely. My hair is never fixed.
Oh, really? And then there's that point in time where you have to decide if you're going with the mom cut, where it's like easy to fix as much as you can.
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations, girl. You got it right. Number 9. Nicely done. Some of the other things that made this list, only posting about your kids' accomplishments on Facebook and not your own.
That's an obvious one.
Crying at anything related to children. Always leaving the house with at least 3 bags. Like, Zach, you should know that. Like, you can't leave the house without a million things.
No, because you never know what's going to happen.
I remember before we had kids, our friends had kids, and we're like, hey, you want to go to dinner? They're like, yeah, we'll meet you in an hour. Like, what do you mean you'll meet us in an hour? And then they show up with a pack and play and stuff. Like, we're going to a restaurant. What is wrong with you? Let me see. Always thinking about what food to cook. That's a big one. And the number 1 thing that made this list, always rushing around. A mom's work is never done. They are always under the gun. So congratulations there, Ashley. You are the big winner today on the 3 Strikes game. And because we know you don't have time to come pick up your prize, we'll make sure we mail it to you.
Great.
Monday school is what Wally learned at church in 3 minutes or less. Think of it as like the Twitter version of church.
Now, I do realize it's Tuesday, but I wasn't here yesterday, and I thought this was a good one that I think somebody could benefit from, because it's something that I've thought about too. It says, we were talking about how people have different views of God that color not only their relationship with God, but also can keep them from seeking Him. And what is sad about that is that most people who don't seek God fail to do so because of their misconceptions of who He is. So we looked at who is God really according to the Bible, because with every distortion about what we think God is, there's a corresponding consequence. Like if we blame Him for every tragedy, then we don't trust or love. You know, if we think that He's angry at us every time we sin, then we think He's an angry, spiteful God. And so it's vital that we understand who God really is, because it has a direct effect on our relationship with Him. So we looked at the characteristics of God, and one of the most important is that God wants to be with you. I mean, the God of heaven, it talks about in Genesis, used to walk with man before the fall. It was like something He liked to do. You don't walk with people you don't like. You don't take a walk with someone like, hey, let's go talk about how much I hate you. It's like you spend time together, but He still desires that of us today. God identifies with your pain, your hopes, and your dreams. And one of the great illustrations of this is the shortest verse in the Bible, John 11:35, where it says Jesus wept. It's because He wept for His friends because He knew they were hurting, even though He knew the end of the story was going to have this amazing outcome when He raised Lazarus from the dead. He was hurting for Mary and Martha because He knew the pain that they were going through, and it troubled Him. So He understood their pain and what they were feeling in that moment. That's why God, as Jesus being here on earth, I think was so important to really fully understand who we are, and we can trust that He understands and knows, because He faced the same things we did. And finally, God loves you apart from your performance. We don't provoke, lose, or earn God's love. The Bible is very clear. It says, while we were sinners, Christ died for us. All other love in our lives has some element of condition to it. I love you if you honor our marriage vows. I love you because you treat me in a certain way. But if you stop doing that, it will alter my love. But God loved us not because of what we do, but because of who He is.
They say it's smart not to talk about religion or politics.
He's the logic vacuum.
Well, we've never been that smart. It's the Wally Show News.
And Becca's got it for you. What's going on?
Remember back in August when Trump refused to rule out running as an independent if he didn't get the Republican nomination? Well, shortly after that, he did end up signing a pledge that said he would remain true to the Republican Party and even back the Republican candidate if he didn't get the candidacy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So he signed this pledge with the RNC, but this weekend, it seems like he's threatening to go back on that pledge.
I signed a pledge, but it's a double-edged pledge. And as far as I'm concerned, they're in default of their pledge.
So
what? How are they in default?
He's basically saying that he's not being treated fairly. He didn't like some of Cruz's attacks against him, and he thinks that he should be getting more credit for winning debates. And
welcome to politics, my man. You gotta man up here.
Right. So we'll see how that shakes out.
Because he's still doing okay. It's not like all of a sudden he's losing.
Right.
He's still doing well. I don't understand that.
He just doesn't feel like he's getting the respect from within his party.
See, that's bad. That's a bad tactic to start turning on them now, because you're already kind of the black sheep of that party, and so then if you do this, and I'm going to run independent, then you're not going to win for sure. Mm-hmm. No independent ever has won. So you will affect the outcome by stealing some votes, but I don't see that happening. So that's a mess.
Marco Rubio has a new campaign ad out that repeats one key phrase over and over again.
It's morning again in America.
But the problem is that during this ad, it features scenes, but it features scenes from Vancouver.
Oh.
So it has the Vancouver skyline in the background, and if you look closely at one shot of a boat, you can even see a Canadian flag on board.
I knew I didn't trust him.
Maybe we're going to colonize Canada.
Oh, that would be great.
That's fantastic.
No, yeah, because no one lives there. It's just wild, uncharted territory.
I know, and imagine all the maple syrup. And bacon.
Imagine.
Oh, no. Canadian bacon's the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Out.
Boo, Canadian bacon.
Imagine, though, the part 2 to Alaskan reality TV series,
I
but
know.
Canada edition.
Yeah, it's like we're Canada. We're even colder.
Exactly.
How awesome is that?
And this is really sweet. An 86-year-old woman named Tinny spends every morning at her window waving at all the kids going to school. It's what she's always done.
Nice.
And it might seem simple, but it means a lot to those kids that she sees every day. So much so that on Valentine's Day this year, over 70 of those kids showed up with Valentines for her, gave her a hug, and you can tell that it meant a lot to her.
I'm in shock. It's just wonderful. I just can't express my love for these kids.
Oh, that's sweet. I like that. I like when you see kids do the right thing, because you see so many stories in the news of kids getting it wrong. And so when kids do the right thing, I'm glad that we get to talk about that stuff as well. So there you go. That is your news for this hour. Thank you, Miss Becca. This is the Wally Show, and I know that we are a couple days past Valentine's Day, and I hated not being here yesterday, the day after, but I wanted to talk about Valentine's Day gone wrong, those Valentine's Day disasters. because it makes me feel better.
Was yours bad?
No, it wasn't bad. I was kind of bummed because, like, my wife and I, we've said for years, this is why the whole present thing bothers me. Like, we've said for years, you know, hey, we just do cards. And so this year I did 2 cards because I got 2 that I saw 2 and I thought they were both really good. And so I wrote in both of them, you know, something nice. And then this year she did a card and a present. So I wasn't prepared for that. And so I was kind of like, it made me feel bad. Like, oh, I don't love her enough.
You don't. I mean, you need to give her a gift for Valentine's Day.
Obviously. I mean, I wrote the cards really well, but I mean, it wasn't a lot of fun.
But was it a gift?
It was not a gift. That's right. And like, her gift wasn't even a big deal. It was a shirt, you know, but it was the fact that there was something wrapped, and so she bought that and I didn't have anything.
But that you shouldn't feel bad about that, because if there's this rule that you're not getting each other presents, then...
No. Because for Christmas, my husband and I had this same rule because we were going on a trip, so we said no presents. And every single day, Wally would be like, what'd Joey get you? You know he's going to get you something. You're going to have to get him something. Yeah. And you didn't even follow your own rule.
I know, I never do. But somebody asked me the other day, they're like, did Joey and Becca ever give gifts? And you guys went on Christmas Eve shopping, right?
We
at the
did.
Mall?
We split up at the mall, so we did get gifts.
So you ended up doing that.
But you did it.
Yeah. I know. See,
couples are dumb.
I know. We don't have this figured out.
What'd you get for Valentine's?
Jack squat.
But that's better, actually. That would be better getting nothing than like feeling bad about not getting somebody something.
Yeah, I didn't have any guilt.
There's no pressure. Like, I would love that. Like Valentine's Day, I don't like Valentine's Day. I just don't. There's a lot of pressure. It feels manufactured to me. If you're not doing Valentine's, and I know
are you one of those people?
I know it sounds like a cop out.
The card industry, it's a commercial. Blah.
I know it's a total cop out. Be like, we celebrate Valentine's Day all year long. Like I totally get that. But like, I've never been a big fan of it because I'm coming right off the heels of her birthday 7 days earlier, and so then you get her a card and presents for that. And you're like,
just combine the gifts.
Yeah, that doesn't work either, yeah. I mean, and my wife's great about it, but I felt bad. This was on me. It wasn't even on her, unless she was trying to make me feel bad. Boy, that woman's evil. That's what I think was happening. All right, so what was your Valentine's Day disaster? 877-91-WALLY is the number. I'd love to hear your story, because I have a feeling there are some out there that are going to completely trump mine. 877-91-WALLY is the number. This is the Wally Show, and we're talking about those Valentine's Day gone wrong, you know, Valentine's Day disasters. So, Mia, what happened for you?
I got my husband a nice Valentine's Day card, and I was kind of expecting something big from him. And when I gave him this card, I'm looking at him like, where's my Valentine? My husband got me nothing.
Oh, not even a card?
Ooh.
Not even a card. But this is what he said. So he saw me in the corner kind of upset. He was like, what's wrong? I said, you didn't give me anything. This is our very first Valentine. He said, well, we went to a Christian marriage seminar retreat, and he said, well, honey, who put the gas in the car? I said, you did. Who bought the hotel room there with a nice suite we were staying in? I said, you did. Who's buying you food for this vacation so we can enjoy this retreat? You did. He said, well, happy Valentine's Day. So I'm like, okay.
Cop out.
He didn't learn a whole lot of that conference, did he?
No.
You should get a refund and then be able to buy your gift with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the Wally Show, and we're talking about Valentine's Day disasters. I realize it's a day late, but I was not here yesterday, and I'm curious what went wrong for some people, because I was not a big fan of my Valentine's Day, so I want to feel better. So, Kim, what was your Valentine's Day disaster?
My husband comes in the morning of Valentine's Day, and he gives me a card, and it's a purple card to start off with. It's not even red or the pink like you would think for Valentine's. And I'm reading it, and when I open it up, it was actually a birthday card and had marked out birthday and had written Valentine's.
Oh my gosh, that is too funny.
Well, it wasn't that funny at the moment. But
yes, exactly.
Rock what you got, light up the lot. No one can rock the way you rock.
This is the Wally Show, and it is time now for you to help us send a kid to Camp Electric. It's our Rock What You Got contest. The kids have turned in their submissions, and we have selected 6 finalists, actually, from different disciplines in the things that they teach at Camp Electric. And so all you got to do is go to allwally.com. Takes very little time. You watch their videos, and then you select the one kid that connects with you and the kid that you're like, yeah, I want to see them win a free scholarship to Camp Electric. This is a love-hate thing for me. I love doing this. this, but selecting the finalists, I hated it because, like, while you're breaking somebody's heart, you're helping somebody, and like,
And so many of these kids are so talented,
Yes.
and you want to see them go on and hone in on their craft too. But there's just not room to make all submissions finalists.
Exactly. So here we go. Here are a couple right now. You've got Abigail, who's playing strings, a little violin. So. And she's only 13 and kind of killing it there. Then you have Christopher, who's 18. And this is a song he actually wrote. Good guitar player. And then Daniela, who's a singer, guitar player.
I pray that these people believe their lives. Help them see that your way will be the paradise.
And then Ethan, who's playing a little piano there. The piano ones are hard to judge because Zach usually does that because he's a good pianist. And so I felt out of my element here.
No, he sounds good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then you've got Emma, who is a singer-songwriter. This is a song she wrote.
I am a liar. I hide who I am. 'Cause if you see the real me, you might not understand I am.
And then 14-year-old Tyler, who's a drummer at a talent show. He got a big intro from like his principal, like, "It's Tyler!" And this kid just killed it, like just playing for the love of playing, So these are the kids that we have ready for you to vote for them, to send one of them to Camp Electric. It's such a great opportunity for these kids to go to these camps taught by, our favorite Christian artists, and to learn not only about being a better musician, but about being a better believer as well as part of that, and how to live their faith out through their music and stuff. So, I mean, how cool is that? You don't have to really do much. Just go to allwally.com and you can help make a kid's dream come true right now. If you can vote for Idol, you can certainly vote for this because this is far better than that. So get on it right now, allwally.com. We have this week to vote. You can vote today. You can vote tomorrow for your favorite. You can continue to do that through this week, and we will announce a winner early next week.
These are the least important stories out of Hollywood, but nonetheless entertaining. It's the least of these.
And Betty Rock is going to get you caught up right now. What's going on?
Well, the 2016 Grammys were last night, and during her acceptance speech for Album of the Year, Taylor Swift gave an inspirational speech, and some are saying that it was aimed towards Kanye West since he recently took credit for her fame.
There are going to be people along the way who will try to undercut your success or take credit for your accomplishments or your fame. But if you just focus on the work and you don't let those people sidetrack you, someday when you get where you're going, you'll look around and you will know that it was you and the people who love you who put you there. And that will be the greatest feeling in the world.
It's interesting to see angry Taylor. Like, I know that doesn't sound...
She's very breathy.
Yeah, it doesn't sound really, really angry, but that for Taylor Swift, that's furious.
Yeah,
but like, I'm like, okay, well, there you go. She's a little upset. I didn't know. I would never have read into the Kanye thing if someone hadn't told me.
It was just in the last week, though, that he made this big comment. It's
I
in
do
a
remember
song
that.
lyric.
Yeah.
And so it seems pretty direct.
It's fresh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Taylor Swift didn't have the only memorable moment. Adele sang her new song, All I Ask, but things went sour fast.
And she's wow, this is like a bad American Idol audition. Like she's a great singer, but that's not good.
You can't say that about Adele.
Yeah, you can. That's horrible. Like my ears said that about Adele. Like that was bad.
Yeah, later on Twitter, she claimed that the microphones for the piano were on the strings inside, so that made it sound like it was out of tune.
Oh, how was that attached to her throat?
No, you could hear that at one point in the song. It sounded like there was a guitar being strummed. Yeah, and now that you know, it does sound like a microphone sitting on piano strings.
Yeah, that was pitchy though. If I was like Harry Connick Jr., I'd be like, man, that was pitchy. I like it, but that was pitchy.
Even Adele has off nights.
I know, that's exactly the thing. But I respect her for singing live.
And an Adele off night is still better than almost anybody's on night.
True, very true.
I don't know, man.
It was a very emotionally charged performance. It was really good. You're just picking out the couple bad spots.
I know, and I could do it. But see, that's the thing.
Yeah, let's see how you can do it less pitchy.
I could do it just like that. And this is my
that's so messed up. My ears are bleeding.
Yeah, like I just sang Adele. That was beautiful. Like I am Adele. That's amazing.
Maybe being a billionaire has its disadvantages. Mark Zuckerberg recently upped security at his $1 million mansion. He's upped now to security to 16 guards.
What?
Due to threats from unhappy Facebook users. And you would ask, why are people on Facebook so unhappy? Well, Facebook is the leading cause for breakups and divorces.
No way. And they're taking it out on
So they're
Zuckerberg?
taking it out on him.
That's extreme.
That's messed up. Come on, seriously. Like, yeah, you have a messed up relationship. That's fine, but that's not Zuckerberg's fault. I mean, blame him for boring us to death with people's lives and their pictures and their stories that don't mean anything. Fine, but the other stuff, that's ridiculous. 16 guards?
Yeah, 16.
Well, that is, this is one time I'm on Zuckerberg's side. That's crazy.
Do you think he would like friend the guards on Facebook?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that would be kind of weird. Like,
Because then he's seeing that they're posting other like random cat videos and stuff during their shift.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's going to do it for the least of these for this hour. Thank you, Miss Rock. This is the Wally Show, and, we're all very different people, and there are things that make us happy and things that make us sad, and sometimes those things we have in common, but then sometimes they're just weird. So I came across this list of things that people find make them the happiest or the saddest. It was like activities, like going to see a movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Going to a library. No! That makes me sad. That would make my sad list. Let me see. Playing sports. Gardening, singing, talking with friends. Those were the 6 things that they found made people the most happy. I'm surprised that talking with friends was so low on the list there. I would have thought that would have been like way up high.
You'd think so, but maybe people don't put that as an activity necessarily.
Yeah. And then the things that make us the saddest are being sick. The older I get to, like when you get really sick, you literally become this big baby, like, I want to die. Yeah. And you're like, okay, you have like a bad fever and body aches, but you're like, I just want to die. So I get that one. Working or studying, taking care of someone older, standing in a line. Oh, that one drives me crazy. I wouldn't say it makes me sad. I'd say more angry. That one makes me angry. Let me see. Financial work, commuting. Those are things that make people sad. Like, those are all kind of real surface things. So I kind of wanted to talk about some of the stuff that makes us happy and sad. Like, I want to get a list of one of each of those from all of us on the show and from you as well. 877-91-WALLY is the number. That's 877-91-WALLY. Let's start with you, Becca. Let's go with your happy.
My happy is that 30 seconds right before I fall asleep. And I know that seems really surface and like, oh, it's because you get to sleep. Sleeping makes you happy, la, la, la. But I think I'm such a worrier that when I'm starting to drift into sleep, it's finally like, oh, there's nothing going on. I'm just perfectly happy. There's nothing else in the world but me in this bed.
That moment of peace.
Yes, exactly.
Where your mind shuts off for a minute.
Exactly. And I wish I could just bottle that up.
And have that all the time.
Have it last longer, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, well, what makes you sad then?
My sad is when, and this might seem obvious, it's when people fail to meet my expectations. And I'm not talking about little things, because people might, disappoint me or whatever, but it takes a lot.
You have very high standards.
Well, yeah, but it takes a lot for me to lose respect in someone.
Right.
So I will be.
I've seen her lose respect in someone. It's brutal. Like, I don't ever want to see that happen.
I'm all or nothing, because I really truly try to see the best in people.
Right.
And I'll be like, oh, well, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe this, maybe that. So when that person does that one thing that's intentional, that I know is like, okay, that's that moment that I'm out.
Right.
That's it makes me sad, because I don't want to be that person that just dismisses people, but they made me sad. So
I get it. All right, so we'll take yours, 877-91-WALLY, and I want to get Zach's and Betty Rock's as well, and we'll do that within 15 right here on The Wally Show. This is The Wally Show. We kind of started talking about things that make us happy and things that make us sad based on this list of different activities, but I kind of wanted to take it a little bit deeper than that. So, Angie, what is the thing that makes your happy list?
I'm a wife and a parent and a very, very busy person. So whenever I get my alone time...
How many kids do you have?
2.
2? Okay, yeah. Like, for a mom, like, that alone time is a vital thing, because somebody always needs something from you, and I think if you have that moment to recharge, it will probably help make you a better mom, too. So what's on your sad list?
My sad list is my husband. He has an addiction problem, so every time he relapses, it makes me so sad.
Oh, that's a mess.
Yeah, it's a mess. It makes me very, very, very sad.
You know what? But I respect you for hanging in there. It's not easy, especially when someone's sick and they're battling addiction like that. They very rarely realize the torment that they put everybody else through, and it's a very selfish thing. But you sticking with him through that is pretty commendable. And you know what? Sometimes all you can do is just keep praying. People come to this realization at different points in time, and hopefully that'll be the case for him. And you can then, see your relationship have a whole new side to it that you haven't seen in a while. This is the Wally Show. So we've been talking about this list of things that make you happy or make you sad, and I'm curious about each person's list here on the show. Like we went through Becca's, and we have Zach's and Betty's. Let's go to Zach. What makes you happy?
I'm going to go with Anna laughing, my daughter.
Oh, fantastic. It's that way everyone gets to enjoy it on the radio, not just a photo.
I know, well, because we videotape it, and then I'll just watch the video over and over because it's just the sound is just amazing.
Yeah, when they do that gut laugh at nothing, it's the best. It is the best. He has a clip of it. I'm not going to play it.
Yes, you are.
Crazy. Oh, no. Can you play it from there? Oh.
Sounds like gas.
Yeah.
Isn't that the greatest thing ever?
Yeah.
One more time.
What makes you sad?
What makes me sad is those stupid, foolish accidents that cost you money, and there's just no when a phone just falls out of your hand accidentally, and there's $100 fixing the screen.
That happened on the Wally Jolly tour. His phone fell out of his pocket and cracked.
I don't even know how it fell.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there still, and I heard a phone fall.
You're like, oh, that stinks.
Yeah, it was someone in front of me, and they reached back. They're like, "Is this your phone?" No, my phone's like,
oh, that is the worst.
It fell 2 feet on the carpet. Come on.
And it's still broke.
Those things just make me sad.
I wish we had tape of Anna crying, because I think that would make his sad list too.
No.
Yeah. Betty Rock, what makes you happy?
I would say what makes me happy is quoting movies with my dad.
Oh, that's good. See, a dad thing. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, we have the same stupid sense of humor and find the same things funny.
Yeah.
So when he says something, I have to say something too.
That's good. All right, what makes you sad?
I would say morning brain. Do you know what morning brain is?
Totally.
No, huh?
Maybe it's a girl thing.
Oh, we've
I don't
talked
know.
about this.
Everything seems devastating.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have to go to the bank and withdraw some money. Oh, my life is over.
Really?
Yeah, and for some reason, I try and
funny.
turn off my brain in the morning and try and
That's
get
working.
distracted. I know. But it's horrible.
Wow,
I
I've
don't
never
know
heard of
why.
that.
But it's once you pass a certain stage,
I think it's tired brain because it happens late at night to me too.
Oh, it doesn't happen late at night. No, it's only in the mornings.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, my list, things that make me happy, this one's a little more surface, when I'm building something and it comes out, perfect, the skill it takes to make, a different kind of joint on a table, that makes me happy. I'll sit there and stare at it.
Different kind of seam on a dress.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and then I like to talk about it with my friends, and none of them care. There's when my daughter seeks my advice, though, kind of like you with your dad, Betty. You like that connection with him, and so for me, from the other side of that, from the dad side, it makes my day. I absolutely love that. The thing that makes me sad, and this one I can see coming every time, it's when I'm put into a situation. And in my head, I know this is how I need to handle this, and it's calm and it's rational. And then the second I start in the situation and I become irrational and upset or mad, it drives me crazy because I know how to react, but then I choose not to react that way. That makes me sad because then I have that moment where I'm just oh, that was an overreaction.
Like the other day when there was something we had to do and you just immediately led with, you can fire me if you want, but I'm not doing this.
Oh, yeah. Zach was like, wow, that escalated quickly. I'm yeah, that's kind of how I'm wired, man. Well, that is going to do it for the podcast. Before we get out of here, Zach had just asked everybody about their Valentine's Day disasters. Did anybody have any more? I want to make sure that we covered those. Becca, did you have a Valentine's Day disaster? Because we just asked people about it on the show, but didn't cover anything really here.
Yeah, not this year, but the first year my husband and I were dating, I made him a mix CD, which I thought was the greatest present in the world.
For the record, not.
And he got me a diamond ring.
Yeah, exactly.
So I felt a little guilty about that.
It's really strange. Like the heartfelt gift it's a tough call. Like for women, like you took a lot of time to make him this book.
I did.
That I guarantee, like all the things of your love and stuff like that. And early on in your marriage, so it's great. Like I get that. Like, oh my gosh, this is so great. I love you so much. This is awesome. As you get a little older, a golf club is better. Like it's like things like one of the things they found that guys like are things that further either their career or their hobby.
Yeah, I'm a little torn. So he doesn't get home till tonight, and part of me kind of wants to still get him something.
Really?
No, that's cheating.
I feel because he got
you missed
me
the deadline.
Well, he hasn't given me his gifts.
That's right, because you guys were
But he already
together.
bought them.
But he bought them. So I don't know.
All's fair in love and
He
war.
said
If
that
you want
he
to get him
loved the
something,
book.
get it.
It was the best.
He will say that. He will totally say, and he will mean
And
it
I
on
believe
some
it.
level.
I
He
do
will mean
believe
it on a certain level.
He will always paint Joey in the worst light. And
No.
it drives me nuts.
I don't paint Joey in the worst light. I paint men in the worst light. Like he will be like, "This is really cool," and he'll look at it with you and be like, "Oh my gosh, that was so awesome." But like we, as guys, we don't go back and relook at that kind of thing very often. You know what I mean? Like it's like
I guess, but
women will go back to it and look at it.
The reason I did it, and the reason I did it
That's a great idea.
digitally too, was that he's on the road a lot, and so there are times when he's gone for 3 weeks at a time, and sometimes that can be a little stressful in the relationship. So to have something physical where it's like that he can look back at when we're kind of having an off day or whatever. It's not always that we're mad at each other. It's just sometimes communication's hard when our schedules are opposite. So I'm hoping he looks back at it.
Oh, he might.
Okay.
Anybody else? Betty, how'd it go? Anything?
No.
Okay, no, it's like not talking about it.
I got nothing.
Okay, that's fine. I'm sorry.
My very first Valentine's Day with my now wife, Sarah, we had just started dating officially 2 days before. And
Oh, dude,
Rookie
really?
mistake.
I know.
Yeah, wait till after. You
I felt bad that if there was no definition to the because we had been hanging out a lot and stuff. And
2 days before, you have to get her something at that point.
I know, but that day I went into work that morning and threw up all over outside, so they sent me home, and so the entire day I'm laying on the couch with 100-something degree fever, puking in a bucket.
Okay.
And so she's like offering to come up and bring me soup or something. I'm like, no,
That's
you don't-
nice.
No, you're not into the relationship far enough to have to see me puke.
Yeah.
Like that's not.
It's too early. You'd scare her
It's
away.
too early. But so yeah, I missed our first Valentine's Day.
Oh, wow, so she didn't come up.
No, I forbid. Well, I live 50
I forbid
miles.
it. Nicely done. And she listened.
I lived 50 miles away, and I had a gate.
Hey, how's that
she didn't
forbidden
have to
thing working out for you now with her? Yeah.
come. Not allowed to talk about that.
I forbid things a lot. Doesn't always go over. And you're no different than any other guy.
Yes.
I've put my foot down on more things. I would tell my wife, I'm like, don't make me put my foot down. Don't make me put my foot down. She'd be like, don't make me laugh. All right. Well, there you have it. All right, that's going to do it for the podcast today. And as always, thank you so much for being a loyal and
Potty.
faithful potty.
Oh.
Thank you. You jumped the gun there. I added an extra word in there today.